Okay, this is the Cluster API Provider AWS meeting of December the 14th, 2020. We're abiding by the CNCF Code of Conduct. Broadly means be excellent to each other. Just throw the link, I think just for Peter joined a bit, a few people joining, so I'll just throw the link again. New docs, so there's a new link for the docs, so click through to that rather than whatever's in your calendar invite. We will update the calendar soon. So just let you know, we've had a G Suite migration at VMware, which means the docs are basically being copied to a new domain. We lost access to the old ones, so we need to update everywhere that these old docs were being used. So there's PRs going into Kate's community GitHub group, which should then update the calendar, or if not, Tim Sinclair will update it. So that's the new announcement, which obviously, ironically, you can only see if you're already in the document. Okay, so first thing on the agenda is Sedef. Do you want to take that away?
Sure, yeah. So I want to discuss when is a good time to merge vivanova 4 to the master branch. There are some changes in the PR. Marcus wanted to discuss, such as I mean, I can go into detail after we discuss when we want to merge vivanova 4.
Okay, so I think the context of this is V1 Alpha 4 is not going to be out for quite a while because there's enough work to do in V1 Alpha 4, which means it's not something we're going to have ready in January or whatever. So there's a timing question here, and the decision is, and we discussed this last week, and we were kind of saying V1 Alpha 4 is open for the main branch, but I just want to make sure that like everyone is clear with what the implications mean. So if we merge V1 Alpha 4 right now, then we then main branch is on the latest. We can test against the tip of tree of Cluster API. The drawback is if we want to backport any features, then we have to backport basically everything.
And I want to add this here, since controller runtime versions will be different between previous, non-master branch and master branch, the backports will be a bit challenging. And the forward parts, if yeah, I mean, it goes both ways.
Broadly, what's the biggest change? Is it passing context around?
So yeah, with the controller runtime changes, I mean, yeah, contexts are one thing. Another thing is enqueuing functions are different. Other than that, some even tests have some differences. There are few changes I had to do. So
okay, fair enough. And if we stay on V1 Alpha 3, I guess it makes life easier in terms of contributing features, but then we also but we need to forward port everything with broadly the same kind of challenges with the controller runtime. Yeah, has anyone, I mean, I'd be interested to hear from Richard, Peter, Scott, like any thoughts?
So what sort of time frame are we talking about for V1 Alpha 4? Was it about months?
Yeah, it's at least 3 months, more like 6 maybe. I'm talking talking with Vince anyway.
It's going to pay for anyway, but we're likely to do other, I guess, feature releases between now and then, aren't we? So would it be easier to keep it on V1 Alpha 3 and just forward port into the V1 Alpha 4? I don't know. Seems easy in my head, but I don't know, I'm just fooling myself.
Yeah, fair enough. Anyone else? I mean, Sedef, what's your opinion? As in, you've been doing SPR, you've done the majority of the work. Like, how do you have a preference?
So actually, there are a lot of changes going on in CAPI side. So if we open the master to V1 Alpha 4, we can continuously add those changes so we do not miss anything going on in the CAPI side. I mean, if we stay on V1 Alpha 3, we will actually do the work once to port everything at once. I think it feels like easier too, but we may need to go back to CAPI changes and apply those at the end when we open V1 Alpha 4.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I think one thing for me is like we know what parts of CAPI V1 Alpha 4 looks like, but there's a lot that still is not yet defined, like the AWS not the AWS load balancer, but the CAPI load balancer proposal, which ties into the Kappa V1 Alpha 4 design. But we haven't even designed those yet. So yeah, we're not gaining much in terms of the API design yet for V1 Alpha 4 because it's still up in the air. I don't know. I mean, the other thing we can do is have a V1 Alpha 4. Well, it's not the other thing, but if we have the V1 Alpha 4 branch and then do periodic testing on tipper tree for CAPI, just make sure that Kappa still works with CAPI tipper tree.
I mean, we can actually wait for maybe a couple of months because, for example, even the small version changes in controller runtime required a change on our side. So CAPI right now is actively upping their controller runtime to every alpha.2, alpha.5, alpha.8 release for controller runtime. And this requires consistent change on our side. We may wait until CAPI matures a bit more maybe to like reduce the work we are gonna do.
Okay, I mean, yeah, I feel bad like you've done all that work and then we're saying we're not might have it. So do you want to do the branch at all, or like just we'll close the PR and?
Oh, you mean like a separate branch, not the master? Sure.
Yeah.
If it will help us, yeah.
Maybe should we just see then? Let's have a release 07 branch and merge that PR to that. All right, should we just see if we can? Let's see how we get on with forward porting maybe. So let's stay on V1 Alpha 3 for main branch and have a go and see where we get to. And we've got some work to do in the cluster API repo anyway, because we don't have that alpha. We don't have any way of getting a release for end-to-end testing for CAPI yet. And we discussed an idea in last week's meeting to publish like a nightly build. So why don't we why don't we do the release 04 branch? Maybe do the test and submit a what if they do like that alpha 0 release for Cappy, set up the test infra job for that, like a periodic, and let's see how we get on with forward porting.
Sounds good.
How does that sound? Okay. Okay, next one, related almost, is test infra. Richard.
Yeah, nice segue. Yeah, it's, I guess I need to set up a new job to run the EKS interim tests. I guess, is there a way that we can test those, or do you actually literally just have to define the new job and see if it works?
Oh, is this in the YAML?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there is a way to test it other than replicating that on the command line in your own.
That's fine. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, otherwise it is just submit the YAML. I mean, are you able to run the E2E test
Yeah.
locally?
Yeah. So it's not a problem. So yeah, okay.
Yeah, I've never had any more success than that, which is why I tend to define as much of it as possible inside the Kappa repo. So what goes in test infra is fairly minimal in terms of setup. I'm sure we're going to have to do fiddle with like IAM and stuff like that, but we can sort that out.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that just something else on a related note, which was when I was looking into our jobs in test infra, the owners maybe need to be updated, people as reviewers and stuff like that. Just something I noticed.
Yes, there's a bunch of them that need updating. There's like a weird maintainers one as well, so that's the one that actually lets you do the GitHub releases. So yeah, remind me tomorrow about it, and I'll go through it and find them, because I can't even remember where all the ones are, but there's ones in Kate's IO that need updating, pushed it, that you have permissions to do image promotion as well and things like that. So yeah, ping me tomorrow, we'll get that set up so that in the new year you're ready to go to do release, and maybe we pair whenever we get to your next release, we'll pair up on it. Make sure you can do it.
Sounds good. Yeah, this one's me as well. It's later in this. We had a discussion on the Slack channel about the auto-scaling IAM permissions. So when I was running the EKS and VM test today, I know just not today, yesterday, the day before, I had a problem with the managed machine pools and not having the correct IAM permission. So I've put a change in with the end-to-end test PR, but I can split that out and just do that as a separate PR. Just really thoughts and to be aware of, really, just because it relates to the discussion we had.
Yeah, okay, I'll take a look tomorrow. I'm sure it's fine. Yeah, I don't have any.
Yeah.
Comment.
Yeah, I probably be better for this split out just the PR, to be honest. It's it's one number of test changes and changes to the just AWS bootstrap stuff.
Yeah, I think that should be fine. If it isn't, I'll let you know. I'll review it this week. Yes, this week is my last before New Year, so if you need anything to prove, make sure to do it this week. Sedef, was there a particular comment discussion that you wanted to talk about now that we've reached the end of the agenda?
No, I think since we are not going to open the vivanova 4 in master branch, we don't need to go into details about the changes, I think.
Okay. All right. I think the one comment discussion, Marcus, was about having backwards compatibility on the flags, but if we're doing it in a separate branch, I don't think we need to care about that so much right now.
Those flags have changed in Cappy side as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's fine. Stop. Is there anything else anyone wants to bring up? We've got, yeah, it's pretty short. If not, can call it quits. No. All right. Cool. Thanks, everyone. I'll see you in the new year, probably, as it'll be in between Christmas and New Year's, I think. So let's reconvene whenever the next Monday is after New Year.
Oh, Happy New Year. Oh, Happy Christmas.
Happy New Year.
Yeah. Very. Happy holidays.
See ya.
See ya.